everybody. I'd like to call to order the Farmington Board of Education meeting for Tuesday, April 2nd, 2019. If we can all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, the first item on the agenda, number 3, is the recognition of the boys basketball team. This is one of the great moments we have. We're coming to celebrate a wonderful accomplishment and achievement, and congratulate them for a job well done. So I don't know if you want to open up. Jack, do you want to come over and say anything? And
Sure.
Yeah.
Thanks, Chris.
Yeah.
I just want to thank the boys. What an outstanding season. Thanks to Coach Witter and his outstanding staff, excuse me, for an outstanding season. I want to thank the parents and families and friends, the support to this team from you all to begin with. The Booster Club just is so special, and it has been, but this year in particular. And then the outreach from the community was just amazing. It was just an amazing thing to watch and to see. And that's because of you guys and how you work and how you perform and the people that you are. And I want to thank Dr. Silva. I know he hides in the back there, but his leadership is always there, and we're so grateful to him for all that he does for us at the high school here. And then lastly, really to the Board of Education and Ms. Greeter, the outstanding support that you have for all of our teams. But when we get to these special moments, your support throughout allows us to have these special moments. And I have so many athletic director friends that called me during this time and said, let's see, you sold out your gym against Naugatuck and the fire department came and closed it down. Then you went over to New Britain High School with my dear friend Len Cordo, the athletic director, to play Prince Tech. And Cordo came over to me and said, you did it again. You sold us out here, we're closing it down here. And then you went down to Mohegan Sun and just filled that arena. And what a show. And we thank you so much, just outstanding. Thank you so much.
I'd just like to, again, echo Jack's comments, but also one thing is, thank the parents for the support they give to the students, but also I want to thank the players too for being ambassadors for the entire community of Farmington. When you go out and accomplish something like this in the way you did, and showing true sportsmanship and dedication to not only your teammates but the community as a whole, and your ambassadors of Farmington when you go out and achieve these great things. So it's a great accomplishment, not just for your teams and yourselves, but for the community as a whole. And congratulations, Coach Witter. It's been a long time coming, and I was shocked. I mean, 1939. I didn't know that, and that's
he wasn't
the one.
there. It hasn't been that long. Coach Witter, right?
So it's a great accomplishment. I don't know if you guys just want to go quickly down and introduce yourselves. We'll just start, and
Okay. So hi, I'm Jake Brickner. I'm a junior.
I'm Jacob Smith, I'm a sophomore.
Clark Strauss, I'm a senior. I'm Ricky Podgorski, I'm a sophomore.
I'm Timothy Arnold, I'm also a sophomore.
I'm Tyler Corland, I'm a junior.
I'm Tristan Granny, I'm a junior. I'm Uwe Moma, and I'm a sophomore.
I'm Nico Bouzakis, I'm a junior.
I'm Nick Duncan, I'm a freshman.
I'm Jake Dunst, I'm a senior. I'm Jeffrey Stewart, and I'm also a senior.
I'm Makai Hawkins, and I'm a senior.
I'm Grayson Hare, and I'm a junior.
I'm Jake Shadler, and I'm a sophomore.
Well, it sounds like there's not many seniors on this team. So, I don't know if the expectations are set high for next year, Coach Witter, but...
I'm okay with that, and I think that they're okay with that, too. Waterford did a great thing last year. Waterford, who actually beat us in the state tournament last year, went on to win Division III, and then this year, they got bumped up to Division II, which is going to happen to us, and they won Division II this year. So, and they graduated some key seniors, but they were able to keep their culture together, and that'll be our goal next year. We're hoping to defend the state championship next year.
I'll just say a few words. First of all, I'm a huge fan of this team. I really enjoyed watching all of you work together throughout the season, and there really is a magic with this team. And in particular, I'm curious to hear from Coach Witter and the coaching staff, Tim, Jeff, Sean. What happened at that halftime that you came back? And we were on our feet. We were just so amazed at how you came back after that halftime. So there had to have been something said during that halftime.
Well, Jacob did recite a poem that he has memorized about getting up and going back out there and doing something special. But everybody says the same thing. They all say, what did you say at halftime? What did you say at halftime? And the boys know that I kept my composure at halftime, and we talked about strategy at halftime. We talked a little bit about effort, but afterwards, everybody told me how they were surprised by what happened in the second half, to start the second half. And certainly it was a great minute. That first minute of the second half was great. But I wasn't surprised. I wasn't amazed. I knew this team had it in them. We did not play a very good first half, and I think that had everything to do with being on that big stage and that big moment and knowing that the entire community was there to support us. And we just didn't play very well. But they came out in the second half and they showed who they really are.
Yes, they did. It was so exciting. We're so proud. I know that you've been going to the elementary schools. Our board member, Phil Becker, had made that suggestion, and I can't tell you the impact that you're having on our elementary school students. They look up to you. They really are so excited, and I always love to see our high school students going to our elementary schools, and whether it's our peer leaders, our athletes, tutors, some of our students do internships, but it really makes an impact when students at the elementary level see what's coming up. And I can't thank you enough. I'll tell you a little story about the game that you didn't see, but I did see because I was in the stands. So at the very end of the game, as you know, they put a barrier up so that the fans don't come out on the court. And so our team is getting closer to our fan base, and our fans were extraordinary, not only in number, but just in the way they conducted themselves with respect and grace throughout the game, as our team did. And our team's getting closer to the fans, and the energy is there, and then our team kind of took the barrier and just went, like, okay, we're gonna go see our fans. We're gonna be together as a family, a Farmington High School family. And they started to go up there, and one of the Mohegan Sun employees said, that's never happened before. And I was like, well, at Farmington High, yes, it would happen, because I just see this team and their fan base just as one. And throughout the season, the fans were there for you, and you were there for the fans throughout this season. And that includes our citizens and our parents and current students, former students, current teachers, former teachers. We had Dr. Breslin there, and Dr. Silva, and Dr. Hurwitz, who will be principal of Farmington High School. So, just you looked anywhere in that stadium, and you could see Farmington throughout, and it was just a very exciting game, but a very exciting season. So congratulations. Mm-hmm.
And the New London Day voted, there were 9 state championship games, boys and girls, during the weekend. And the New London Day, the local newspaper, voted our fans the #1 fan section of the whole weekend.
Anyone else want to congratulate the team? Feel free.
I said it well.
Yeah.
I'll just say you guys have done something that very rarely we've seen with our sports teams. And we talk a lot about the culture and the vision of the graduate. And we drill this into you guys from a very young age to your peers. And it can be hard sometimes, but Coach said really well about your culture. It really is a reflection of what we're trying to accomplish here. And that's why I think we're so fired up about your success. It wasn't just the win in the state championship, it's that your effort and the way you played and the way you approached the entire season. The kids that played a lot, the kids that didn't play a lot, you all were committed to one goal and you worked together. And that is what's inspiring, I think, us, and I think to the kids that you went out and saw. So yeah, I'm sorry if I made you guys go suggested you guys go to the elementary school, but I can tell you that you've essentially connected with four huge populations now that want to play basketball. And now Farmington's thought it was a basketball town. And that's because of something you guys did. So really well done, really great job, well done. I'm excited to see you next year.
Okay. At this point, we're going to take a short recess, and we have a cake. If you want to come over and have a cake, the families and the players and the community can come up and congratulate them. So we're just going to enter a short recess. Come join us, and we'll celebrate a little more. Next item on the agenda, item 5 or 6. I'm sorry. Consideration of the superintendent's report. 6A, engaged learning update.
So I will first highlight something that's not in the engaged learning update, but I did receive from the Farmington High School boys basketball team a great photo of our team, which will be placed in my office. So I'm very excited about that. So thank you to the boys basketball team and the coaching staff. So as far as the engaged learning update, West District highlighted the West District Unionville Museum spring exhibit. Noah Wallace shared their partnership with the FHS peer leaders. East Farms fourth graders participated in an engineering project which required students to construct earthquake-proof structures. IAR and FHS partnered once again to learn about East Asian cultures in social studies classrooms. Also, 20 IAR students participated in the Regional Connecticut History Day contest, and there's many highlights from that day in the Engaged Learning Update. And Union School highlighted their student-led conferences, and Westwood's featured an art piece created by students in our Excel program. So those are our Engaged Learning Updates for this meeting.
Thank you very much. Any questions or comments for Kathy? Okay, next item 6B, professional appointments, retirements, and resignations. Being none.
No.
Well, next item, item 7, unfinished business. 7A, budget impact, budget update. Vince?
I'll mention this budget impact to our current budget. Deferred maintenance, I'm going to add to the list of things that I'm bringing forward to the board as budget negative drivers. Mainly because the FHS critical roof repairs is one of the issues. And on that topic, Tim Harris is going to have one of the more significant critical roof repaired areas started next week. So that project is starting. And the other areas I have mentioned in the past, evaluations, consultations, these are special services budget items, continue to trend more than expected. Special education nursing, and more recently in-town special education transportation. We've had some new needs in Farmington over the past month. That's required some new in-town special education transportation, and it's requirements that Dawn Grayson now has put in place and has a impact on the budget. Two quick notes about from the capital budget world. The security improvement bids were opened. We're in negotiations right now with the winning bidder, if you would. That projects are on track. The Union facade project is out to bid with a bid closing coming up shortly. That project's on track. And the roof projects are in the state, they are right now in the state review, school construction review phase. So I'm just going to leave it at that. Those projects. And that's what I have as an update.
Thank you, Vince. How long does the state review take?
That's a good question. I'm trying very hard. They have a new process with the DAS grant submittals, which is a new thing for the state, new thing for schools to be using. I'm not exactly sure on how long this will take, but I'm trying to comply with all the requirements that the state is asking of me and follow their procedures.
Thank you. Any questions for Vince? Okay, thank you, Vince. Next item, item 7B, approval of revisions to regulation 4001.3A, criminal history record information. If I can have a motion to approve the revisions?
Motion. Second.
Okay. Any questions or comments, or? Okay, there be none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions? Motion approved. Next item on the agenda, item 8, new business 8A, approval of the 2019 non-tenured teachers report. I can have a motion to approve.
Motion. Second.
So this is an annual report, and Kim will say a few words about it.
So this is a report that I present to you at this time each year that comes in 2 parts. Part A provides a list for you of the faculty who will be achieving tenure at the end of this school year. These are faculty members who have been through our induction process and who've been supervised and evaluated by their department leaders or administrators, principals, and Kathy also observes each of these teachers in their classrooms in the spring of this year. So you see here the list of teachers by school who will be achieving tenure this year. And then in part B of this report, you see the list of teachers who are currently serving in a long-term substitute position or a 1-year contract. And it is our annual protocol that you non-renew their contracts at this time. And we invite them to reapply should these same positions or similar positions for which they are qualified are open for this coming school year. We invite them to apply. So this is just something, we notify these teachers that this is going to happen, so it's not a surprise to them. And then they are included in the next round of interviews for open positions in the coming school year.
Any questions for Kim? Okay, I'm just gonna ask that we revise the motion to provide that we move that the contracts of employment for teachers listed in section B as presented by Kim not be renewed for the following year upon their expiration at the end of the current school year, and the superintendent of schools is directed to advise such persons in writing of this action.
Motion.
Second? Yeah, I need a motion.
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Okay. Next item on the agenda, 8B. Can I have a motion to approve this administration's recommendation to establish Friday, June 12th, 2019 as the date of the Farmington High School class of...
Wednesday.
Oh, Wednesday.
Thanks, that's wrong.
Yeah, I was just reading.
Sorry,
I
you
was
were
looking at
just
my
reading
calendar.
Okay,
It's
let me
Wednesday.
just, I'm gonna double check, but I
Yeah.
believe it's a Wednesday.
It is, okay, I didn't look at my calendar.
Up above it says Wednesday, and then in the motion.
In the motion it says, okay. Okay, so can I have a motion to approve the administration's recommendation to establish Wednesday, June 12th, 2019 as the date of the Farmington High School class of 2019 graduation ceremony?
Second.
Comments?
No, we just, this is something that we can do in our first meeting in April, and that way it is set. And if there was an issue with school closure day, it remains, our graduation date remains June 12th. So it's something that's important to do in April. And then it's set, even though we'd have to make up any days if there was something unusual that occurred.
Okay. Any questions for Kathy? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, next item on the agenda, 9, report of the board chair. Last night, we, Kathy and I appeared before the town council thank you, Beth. The town council approved the budget as we approved it at our last meeting, so our budget is now out, and we have the, just looking forward, we have the April 15th town meeting, and then the referendum on the 25th, so any, attendance and additional support for the budget efforts as we continue to try and get that finally approved would be appreciated, so just put those on your calendar, and then approval of the financial report for February 2019. If I can have a motion to approve the financial report dated February 2019.
Motion. Second.
Vince?
I'm not sure if there's too much more for me to add when you, other than my comments that I just said a second ago, because you can see them when you go through look at the current balance numbers on the budget negative drivers. In the on pages 4 and 5, more and more of the federal grant, state grant areas, you'll see the double asterisks are dropping because as Beth and I get final numbers and we feel very solid about our grant revenues, we put in the firm number and take out last year's number or the one that we had as a projected. With immigrant youth education, that's a small grant that comes into the board. We still don't have a good indicator on that. And I always hold off on putting in an open choice number until I really get the third open choice payment in. But as I mentioned at the last board meeting, a considerable amount of the open choice tuition revenue has come in. So, well, happy to answer questions.
Anything on the insurance that we should be?
I don't, it's still the trend that I have been discussing with the board so far in the past few months, unfortunately. And the stop loss insurance does assist us in some way at this time, but it does not in regards to the general trend, current general trend situation that we're in. So.
Any questions for Vince on the financial report? Okay, there need to be none. Motion to approve, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, next item, item 10, consideration of the committee reports. Personnel, Mark. Vince, I don't know if you want to provide any update in Mark's absence.
Mark did contact me. He called me, and then he spoke with me earlier today, actually getting an update. And I just reported to Mark that we did have a meeting with Cigna, and that was one piece. And I also reported to him that we have not at this time been notified from the state, because we get a letter from the state about when to open up our next negotiations. That has not come in yet. So.
Okay. Thank you. Policy, Christine.
Nothing scheduled.
Curriculum, Kim, Michelle's absence.
Yeah, we have a meeting scheduled on April 15th.
Communications, Ellen.
No report.
Okay, next item, 11, reported community liaisons, correct, no report, focus. Bill?
No report.
Farmington Public School Foundation, Christine.
Nothing scheduled.
All right, Scholastic, Interscholastic Athletics Advisory, Christy.
Nothing to report.
Chamber of Commerce, Michelle. Green Efforts, Andrea.
Annual townwide cleanup is April 27th.
I didn't totally note that for myself. Cafeteria Advisory Committee, Liz.
We had a great meeting. It was our new format. We had a student attend, and she had some great ideas about making some changes, making the cafeterias more green, less food waste, some great ideas, so hopefully we can implement some of those. And we're going to go forward with the new format. And the next meeting is May 20th at 6 p.m.
Do you mind if I add something, Liz?
Sure.
One of those ideas that the student brought forward, Jose really, and our principal in Old are taking it to the limit. They're going to reduce the styrofoam use.
Actually, we have to, because I think there's now a state law that we
Okay.
have to.
Well, we're doing it before it
Right,
even
so-
comes.
Yes.
So,
Styrofoam trays are
Yeah.
going to be out of the picture, so,
so,
yeah.
but there's good movement in that
Right.
area, and Jose is very, very much looking into all those things.
Right, so it's, yeah, there's a lot of, it's good to have the student involvement, it's a lot of good
When you
ideas.
say new format, what is your new format?
The advisory committee versus the ad hoc committees.
Got it, just the name
Yeah.
difference is
Yeah.
what.
And there's a student involvement, parent involvement, yeah, so it's actually a new committee
Got it.
instead of a ad hoc committee. Sorry.
All right, thank you, Liz. Health and wellness, Ellen?
We have a meeting coming up April 22nd.
Well, thank you very much. Next item, if I can have a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed, abstentions? We're adjourned.